All right, everybody, welcome to Power Comics. We are joined here once again by Tom Tarpey. Tarpey Returns. Tom, how's it going?
Very good. Thanks for having me back. I appreciate it.
Of course, yeah. There's always an open invite. Always an open invite here on Power Comics. And, of course, we're joined by Power Comics head researcher Gabe Deichel. How's it going, Gabe?
Ready, dude.
Before we get into it, Tom, you just told me something amazing. So after our video that we did with you last week, looking at your work on Jontar Returns, you got contacted by your brother, and he was a little upset with you, was he not?
He gave me a call, which is rare. And now my brother's name is John, so it's Jontar Returns.
Oh, baby! Yeah. There we go.
So my kids always thought that my brother and I wrote the comic book and named it after my brother.
Wow. I love that. Jontar Tarpey. Amazing that his name is Jontar Tarpey. That is so beautiful and sweet and wonderful. So what are we doing today, guys? Well, Ben, you might notice an absence here. There's no Ben Marra. So Ben decided to use one of his vacation days here at Power Comics and has taken some time off. So we
unpaid, mind you, unpaid vacation days.
Unpaid vacation days. So we salute you, Ben. Hope you're having a good time in Maui. But anyway, this is what we're doing today, guys. We're going to be looking at Jontar Returns #3. No, not drawn by Tom Tarpey. No.
No way.
No, this is drawn by another artist. So Bill W. Miller. We all know Jontar Returns, Jontar, the mastermind, the writer behind this franchise. So Tom, you drew issues #1 and 2, which we looked at in depth last week, and you started work on. In case those who have not seen last week's show, you started work on #3. But what happened?
It's a bunch of excuses. I got a full-time job. My wife was pregnant. We were starting to move to a different apartment. And, money's not the most important thing, but I wasn't getting paid for Jontar at all.
Totally reasonable.
So I just...
Or that's not reasonable, but reasonable that this is the motivating. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. So I basically, I did, I don't know, maybe about half the book, maybe a little more. And I just kind of stopped doing it. I kind of just left the comic book without telling anybody. But I stopped doing it. So somewhere, and like I said, until I saw your show, I didn't even know that they had continued on and finished the series without me.
Right.
I wouldn't have thought that was possible.
So, but before you dropped out, that is reasonable. But before you did, you drew half of the ish. So you had half of the art done, which I have here. Thank you so much, Tom, for donating it to the Power Archive. But we have it here. So I think what we'll do today is we'll look at Jontar Returns #3, which was drawn by a fellow named Robert Crosswhite. He actually picked up the series and drew issue 3, 4, and 5. And then we'll kind of compare it to the art that I have here of what you drew. So we'll be able to see what you drew and then also what Robert drew and see how the interpretations differ. I think that's going to be quite interesting. So
yeah, me too.
All right. So let me flip to the top down here. So yeah. So just to refresh everybody, these are the 2 issues here that Tom, you drew. And they're fantastic as we've looked at before. And just to catch everybody up, like previously on Jontar Returns, as we know, Jontar, this is a reboot of the series. Jontar, for some reason, was written. Tom, you didn't write it, so this is not on you. But for reasons which we don't fully understand, Jontar was reimagined to have murdered his own mother, who was homeless, and that is the catalyst for him to be reborn under elven superpowers to be this superhero. And there's much debate on the internet, Tom, about Jontar's legs here, which we should also catch everybody up on. You intended Jontar to have chrome legs, but because you didn't, you weren't hands-on on this color separation, they kind of reimagined them as skin tone.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly.
And we did a poll on Instagram. Yeah, you saw?
I voted.
You voted?
Right.
What did you vote for?
What do you think?
I don't know. Chrome? Okay.
I will bow to the masses, but I'm a chrome leg guy.
Yeah.
I think Chrome won, did it not? I'm pretty sure it did. I feel like it did. It did win. Yeah. I think it was close.
I wrote in my vote. I wrote sweatpants. That's what I wanted.
I like that.
So, okay, so you drew these two, and then Robert Crosswhite came in, and then at a later date, going to tease the fact that we're going to get into these bad boys. Issue
Hell
number
yeah.
4 and issue number 5. Tom, what's it like to look at these here?
It's very interesting. What could have been?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think much been out of this, but we'd be telling a different story today. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. So okay, let's dig into this. So okay, first and foremost, let's talk about the cover, guys. So this issue, I think a lot of power comic creators were watching a lot of TV. I think a lot of TV, steady TV diet, and this ish is all about kind of doing a mashup with This Is Your Life. That's the concept,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So some wacky experiment. Jontar is going to be a part of it, along with Jive, of course. And they go in and they're getting, people from their life are emerging, and I guess it's some sort of psychological experiment. Is that the best way to decode what's happening?
Right.
That was my interpretation.
I think, I know, Tom, you brought up earlier before we recorded that you're calling out how this elf master, what's his name?
Master Elf Keeper.
Lord. Master Elf Keeper does not look like an elf. I agree. Also, you can see that Jontar seems to have like dirty blonde hair. That's concerning. But for me, the most concerning
Dishwater blonde hair
is that Jive has a beaver tail for a ponytail, which is really disturbing to me. That is such an insane choice. He's like a big matted dread in the back of his head.
Oh my God, totally. And yeah, and it's also like Tom, did you even get around yet to drawing a cover for this ish at all, or
no? I generally did the cover last.
Did you have any concepts, if you remember?
No, not at that point.
That would have been interesting. So all right, and it looks like there's a different artist that is actually credited here. It says Kiefer 90. So I don't know if maybe Robert didn't draw the cover. I know Robert drew the covers for the other ones, for 4 and 5.
Right, yeah.
I do know, but this one I don't know. So, all right. So let's take a look first at Robert's, and then we'll look at yours, if that's all right. So here we go. Without further ado,
Boom,
glasses are coming on. Here we go. So, all right. So we have to read the recap first, just first and foremost, because they're always my favorite. So Jontar found out the Red Vendetta was his half-sister. Oh, my God, Stacey Odell. She was raised by her rich uncle, Benjamin Powers, who created the secret Justice Underground. Ben wants to recruit Jontar to help fight an international crime ring led by Sheik Torin Ronduel. Jontar confronts his friend Art, who now works for Ronduel. Art and the Sheik escape. Stacey is exposed to a deadly new drug called the Feather. Okay, it's a drug. I didn't get that. And Jontar gains an ally in Jive, a gang member. Cool. Jontar, and then we have a little synopsis, guys. Jontar is the high-adventure saga of a man who redeems his life by serving mankind and the elves from Temple Island. With a barbarian sword and a motorcycle that travels through dimensions via telepathy. Holy shit. Jontar will defend those who have given him a second chance. Okay, so, we're at least we're addressing the second chances here. Action and drama for all ages, guys. So this is for adults too.
Yeah.
And yeah, it looks like front cover art and color by Jack Kiefer. So somebody completely different.
Yeah, I don't know that curb stopping your homeless mother would be action for all ages. I think it's a little mature. It's a little mature.
It's a little mature.
PG-13 at best.
Yes. I just realized I need my power ring before we do this. I got to get my power ring.
Oh, you found it. So right off the back here, Tom, what are we looking at here? I think his bike differs definitely from you envisioned it.
So yeah, Tom, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean, if I'm looking at it, his looks a little bit more like an actual motorcycle, I think, than mine did.
Oh, I don't know. I think yours is the cooler design, though. Real quick before we bring it in, before we look at yours, let's just recap the page here. The motorcycle reappears in the Justice Underground headquarters carrying Jontar, Jive, and Red Vendetta. So 3 people are riding one motorcycle here, just in case you didn't know. And then, Bill W. Miller, pictures and letters, Robert Crosswhite. And, of course, it's called Psycho Test. And then We Need Help. Is this supposed to be Jontar? He looks like...
Yes. I know.
Weird turn of the century, like...
What has he done to Jontar?
I don't know. So far,
He looks like
that's not
He looks
Jontar.
like the dad from... What's his name? The dad from Laura Ingalls Wilder? What was that show, In the 80s. You know
like
what I'm
Don
talking
Johnson.
Landon?
Yeah.
Who's that? Sorry?
What was it, Michael Landon?
Yes, exactly.
He looks just like Michael Landon. Yes.
Exactly.
So, wow. Interesting. All right, so right off the bat, here's the first page. I'm going to zoom it out now, and let's look at your first page, Tom. So...
Oh, come on.
Yeah, right off the bat, we have the motorcycle reappears in the Justice Underground headquarters. It is carrying... Okay, so a little suspense you added to this page. Jontar, awesome. An injured Red Vendetta, so that's different. And a shocked Jive. I love that, and it's great because it's selling that they're all on the motorcycle. Here, it's a little kind of like, I don't really know exactly what I'm looking at, but here I can tell that they're all riding this motorcycle, right?
I was pretty happy with that page.
Yeah,
it's a great page.
It's awesome.
And
the
motorcycle is above and beyond better than
it's true. I agree, and not just because you're here, Tom.
Jontar. No. I would said that no matter what.
Yeah, that is Jontar. Totally. Absolutely. So that's awesome. Also the action too of the vroom. You guys both have that.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'm down.
I don't like how he broke up the vroom in the other one. Vroom.
Yeah, vroom. That's true.
Not as dynamic in my humble opinion.
But very cool, Tom. This is awesome. Yeah.
It's great.
Dig it. It looks like you had some white out here, so you kind of redid his mullet a little bit.
Hair is important.
Yeah, that's true. Hair is important. All right, so that's amazing. All right, let's keep it moving here. So back to the psycho test here. Let's look at the next pages here. Now, you don't have a page 3. I'm missing page 3.
Yes.
From yours.
I have no idea where it is.
So, okay. This text is very small. Suddenly, Benjamin Powers rushes into the room. What happened to Red Vendetta? And this is his interpretation, which is weird, seeing someone else draw you, Tom.
I know.
Because you said that Benjamin Powers was based on you.
Yes,
right.
I'm sorry, yeah.
She inhaled something and passed out. Feather fumes. Just show me where you want. That's sure that's what they wanted the reading to be like. Feather fumes. Just show me where you want her and help her. Okay. That's kind of insane. Bizarre. And then, of course, here we have Michael Landon. Totally. This is wild interpretation of Jontar, guys. Look at this face. He's
wild. All over the place with this.
Yeah,
with this
totally.
Jontar.
Over there on the examining table. So, yeah. So, Tom, impressions here what we're seeing?
Everybody's interpretation is wonderful. I have no troubles with it, but
very diplomatic.
It's very different. Jontar seems to be wearing pirate boots, maybe.
Right. Yeah, it's right. Looks like also skin is definitely what's happening here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the skin has overtaken the chrome. Okay, let's take a look at your page 2. Here we go. So sorry, this is obviously way bigger than the comic book, but we can move it around. So this is also off of echoing back his first page. Let's look at this first. Because we need help. Wow, 2 totally different Jontars. I love this too, how like the security camera here comes through way more in yours. The Vendetta is hurt. It's amazing. That looks cool. And then now we're looking here at, this will work for comparison. Here you come bursting through. What happened? She inhaled something and passed out. I love that. Feather fumes. I like that it's, obviously looking at her too, and looking at how messed up she is from the feather fumes.
Yeah, I like holding up her eye to look into her dead eye. That's a good touch right there.
Yeah, totally. And then of course, helping her off the bike here. Yeah, great drama. John Tarma.
A for effort there, bud.
Yeah, totally.
E for effort.
Great. Totally great. And then of course we don't have your page to compare for this next one, but that's okay. I'm sorry, but there's not much I can do for her. Okay. And then, excuse me, a moment, Powers. And then I don't know exactly what we're looking at, who this is. Going somewhere, Jive? Is that supposed to be Jontar?
I think, go on, Tom.
Yeah, no, I believe that Jive was trying to sneak out. And so Jontar threw a knife at the floor by his feet.
Right.
Oh, that's confusing. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's sneaking out and he's saying, "Not so fast, buddy." Throws
I got you. Hey, be cool, man. And yeah, the rendition of Jive is definitely very different. Also,
he looks like a Vulcan almost.
Yeah, he's got definitely the Vulcan hairline, but that weird beaver tail pone that he's got going on is so bizarre. I love it. Total Power Comics.
Totally. So
power pony, power tail,
power tail. All right, let's get the next page here. Oh wow. So here's the first look here at Jive's mother, which we'll get to here in just a second. Okay, so Jive is saying, "Do you know these dudes? How well can we trust them? I really don't know, but this place is a good place to find out. Okay. So they're back at Red Vendetta's and Benjamin Powers' hideout is where they're at.
Yeah, right.
And then Ben Powers says
Underground.
The Justice Underground.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
And then Ben's like, "It's okay. You'll find the answers to all your questions in the next room." Oh yeah, and I love your rendition. I think of this is much more evocative. See, everything's cool, Jive says, looking totally different than he did in the page before. And well, we're not going alone. So now let's take a look at your page here. So this is where they're going into this darkened room to where the psycho test is going to begin. And looking at yours here, Tom. Let's see here. I can do it like this, maybe. So here's Jive. So we don't have your knife throw that we had. That's the part we're missing. Be cool, man. Do you know these dudes? How well can we trust them? I really don't know, but this is a good place to find out. And then, Ben explains. And then I love how we see this room and we see it open up. And that's much more ominous, I think, than we're not even seeing the room on this page.
Yeah.
And then see, everything's cool. And then now you're depicting going into this room. Right. And I think it's much more clear that we're going into some sort of experiment room or some sort of danger room of some kind. Slam, bing, 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 so great. Gabe, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Jive needs sunglasses. Very much appreciate that.
Totally.
What's his face? Who's the other artist again?
Robert Crosswhite.
Crosswhite. He's going for like a much more like piratey sort of vibe with Jontar and Jive, like he's getting that like
pirate shirt and
and Jontar's sword is like a pirate sword on the cover. I'm not really into that aesthetic for this. Jontar's way more kind of like leather heavy metal dude. You know, and Jive is like a street thug. He's not D'Artagnan. Three Musketeers.
Yeah, I agree.
He's a competent artist, and maybe had he done the first 2 issues and I came in and did the last 3, or because I kind of set a tone,
right?
But I like my tone better.
We do too.
Yeah, we definitely do. I think.
Yeah.
Something's rubbing me the wrong way about this aesthetic that he's got going on here.
And what's it like, Tom, to see like an alternate universe version of something that you spent, I'm sure, a lot of time on?
It's very interesting. because there's some of it that we interpreted the same way. Like that first panel on the first page is almost the exact same as mine. I mean,
right.
In execution anyway.
Yeah, it is. It is similar. It's the same. I mean, like, would Bill's script have said like head-on shot of Jontar and them on the bike coming through vroom? I mean, would it have said? I mean, maybe.
Again, it was. I hate keep falling back on this. It was a long time ago, but like I said, I believe he was not real specific. He would send the story, and then I kind of interpreted. So I'm wondering if he said vroom in there.
Interesting. Wow, that would be wild if you guys.
Or is that
both.
just standard motorcycle noise?
I love that. It's such an interesting juxtaposition, though, seeing the parallels that are happening here.
I love that this is our second parallel Jontar universe that we're looking at.
I know.
Which is
it's so wild.
Absolutely insane. All right, so then now we have here Jontar followed Jive into the next room and the door shut behind them. There was darkness and then blinding brilliance. Tobias Grant Jr., how dare you join a life of crime? Mom, what are you doing here? Love it. So this is actually pretty good. I actually do like that.
Yes,
because it looks like she's materializing a little bit more. And then now let's look at yours. So here they are coming into the room. I do like this. I do like this vibe. This Jive vibe. And then here comes a spotlight is kind of the way that you're showing it, which is more evocative, I think, of the TV show almost, or the this is your life kind of concept. And
I genuinely want that Jive shirt. That's a cool shirt.
Yeah.
With the black collar and the stripes.
Totally.
I'm into it.
Yeah, totally. Tobias Grant Jr., how dare you enter a life of crime? I love his expression here too. And then we see here, Mom, what are you doing here? I love, come on. Jontar's stance here. Up against the wall. Fantastic.
So
and Mom, what are you doing here? Yeah. So, interesting page comparison here, right? Like, also, like, we're talking about the art, but we got to talk about this story, too. This story is also...
It's so diabolical. Like, what are we getting set up for? His idea, this is, what's her name? Red Vendetta? This is her uncle? This is his little...
experiment?
Little brainchild here to fix everyone's psyche. This is mental. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I can think of is that he's either trying to see how they deal with their past to set them up for their future, or.
It is a wild departure, like Jontar departure. That
it very much is. Like, I could see this happening in issue like 50 of Jontar when they're kind of at a loss for narrative, where they're really starting to go off the rails with some tangents. But this is like the third issue. We're going into like some pretty wild, weird stuff.
I agree, and you also mentioned on our last week's show, Tom, how you were using Sharpie, and obviously you can see that here.
Yeah, you can definitely tell there.
Yeah, for sure. Wow, amazing. All right, so let's keep it moving here. I'm gonna go back down here. Let's see, make sure that's all good. Okay. All right. Oh wow.
Ooh boy.
Things are getting
freaky.
What
is going on here?
There's some freaky page here. Don't play innocent with me, Tobias. I know what you do when you sneak out, or when you sneak out at night. There's strength in numbers, Mom. I've got to be in a gang to survive. And then, of course, Mom says, looking very different here. Your gang fights the effects, but not the cause, Tobias. You can't rise above poverty with violence. And do you know why they gave you that offensive nickname, Jive? And I love this line. Because you're full of it. Which I'm glad they acknowledge. I'm glad they acknowledge the name Jive and acknowledge that. I think, that is a plus on Bill there. But, man, still wild. And then, who's laughing here? I don't know.
Jontar, for sure.
I guess, yeah.
Jontar's having a great time watching Jive get told off by his mom.
Yeah. And then, what's so funny to you? That's one mother I agree with. Oh, huh? Is that Jontar? Look at these Jontar faces that are changing. Crazy. And then we see, it's too bad you never agreed with your stepmother and I. Uh-oh. So here we go. This is foster dad, right? Jontar foster dad?
Yeah.
Sammy. Wow. Scary. But he looks like he is appearing. He is appearing there. All right. So let's take a look at the last page here from you, Tom. Okay. Don't play innocent with me, Tobias. I love this. The perspective of looking up at, his giant mother. Which I think does make it a little more dreamlike, nightmarish. I know what you do when you sneak out at night, or Jive's just really small. And then there's strength in numbers. He's got a game to 5. And and of course, this is great too. I love the
the inversion
to the wide. Yeah, the inversion is really cool.
Love it.
Definitely. Yep. And why they gave you that offensive nickname? I love this. And I love Jontar peeking in here in the corner. And then because you're full of it, I think it's great. This is a great page.
Yeah, very, very good use of contrast. Very dynamic. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Love it, Tom.
Thank you.
What do you think, Tom, looking at the comparison here?
On the previous page, I was impressed with his Jive's mother. I thought it was a good drawing.
Yeah, I agree.
Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't. She took a bit of a turn for the worse.
Yeah. He turned up the lump slider on his
lump slider
on his rendering there. Gave her too many lumps.
His hair. Did he get a perm since the previous?
I think he's got like a weird perm pony thing going on. It's very strange.
I thought previously it was more of like the Vulcan straight hair, and then it kind of definitely looks like a perm.
It's very inconsistent for sure, and you're also seeing the inconsistencies with Jontar too. Here, it just kind of leaps off the page. Like this Jontar looks completely different than this Jontar. I mean, look at the difference of the rendering, and it's like this is a scary Jontar.
I do like Daddy though.
I do like Dad.
Scary Daddy.
Definitely like in his Evel Knievel like outfit.
Yeah,
for sure. Okay, so let's look at your next page. Okay, here's the ha page. Much more. That's great. That's awesome. I love it. What's funny to you? And then that's one mother I can agree with. And then and then I think it's selling the turn that there's somebody else there. And then here's the reveal of Sammy. So, God, just so wild to look at both of these as two different possible outcomes of this very niche episode or niche-ish.
I see. I didn't even realize in the other one, the O is coming from Dad.
Yeah, I know.
I thought it was coming from Jive. Yeah,
that's what I was saying.
See.
Yeah,
I get
it. No,
it's.
I mean, you kind of devote a whole dialogueless panel to that, just like and then here's Sammy. Amazing. Love
My Sammy is nowhere near as like horrifying.
That's true.
Or ominous as
Sammy is very nonchalant here, and here it's like this awe-inspiring force of Sammy.
I guess it's all in the interpretation, but I got it. He was a nice, he was a good guy who took this kid in.
Yeah, totally.
And so I kind of drew him more that way, where
it's definitely more sympathetic. It's more of like the disappointed stepfather versus the angry, wrathful stepfather.
Totally. Yeah. Wow. Such a bizarre issue. Okay, let's go back to it here. Back to the ish. Okay. Here we go. Whoa. We got some faces here. I have seen faces. All right. You remember me, but not my morals. This is the dad here. Wow, weird hair on Dad, by the way. Like a mohawk on Dad. I paid for my crimes, Sammy. I turned myself in and went to prison. And for one day, and then you escaped. An elf, helped you escape. It wasn't my fault. There were these elves. That's so crazy. Wow. B and I taught you to be responsible, Jontar, and that means being able to respond to the needs of others as well as yourself. So really grilling Jontar here. Amazing. And then he says, how is B? Is she all right? She weeps for you constantly. Wow, this rendering of this dad. Wow, and what's going on here? Is he shapeshifting?
I can't tell. Yeah, keep going.
Is this in yours, Tom? I must comfort her now. They love you very much. Whoa.
What is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, it basically just switched. You know, his stepfather went to console his stepmother, and then that's Dean
Dolchek.
Oh, that's Dean.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Oh, right. The social worker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then this is amazing. Jive's like, who's this honky? He's a good man named Dean Dolchek. Don't you ever call him a honky again. Oh my God. I love this. I love this world. Okay. Let's take it to Tom's here, page 8.
Imagining Bill writing that.
I know.
Typing it out. Don't ever call him honky.
Okay, yeah. You remember me, but not my morals. I paid for my crimes, Sammy. I turned myself in and went to prison. Amazing. And then here we have... And this is, wow, totally different.
Love that.
Whoa. This is way cool. Yeah, for one day then you escaped. It wasn't my fault. There were these elves. And then, wow, this amazing flashback to getting the puppy and, and then her looking at him. I guess, what does he draw? Writing here? Wow.
Well, doing his homework. Again, I don't remember the rest of the script, so I'm not sure where it's going. But I felt that it was important to show that he had, a very good relationship with these good people.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, disappointment and shame is way more powerful than like anger and frustration. Like definitely in the I can't remember his name. Something White, Applewhite, Marshall Applewhite. What's his
Crosswhite.
name? Crosswhite. It's a way more domineering, angry, wrathful stepdad, and then yours is like Jontar's like.
Well, they're disappointed.
Tears welling up in his eye. Yeah, exactly.
They're like, we raised you so well, and you killed your mom, your biological mother. You're a murderer, and
it's hitting hard.
It's hitting harder here because that's like the ultimate thing. It's like I remember that episode of Trailer Park Boys when the Trailer Park Boys are like super stoned and they're like pulling off this scheme to steal meat from the grocery store, and then they're like second grade teacher stops them and is like, is that you from and then it's like, oh my God, like the shame of like what have I become?
Exactly.
And that's what this is, which is which I think is more powerful for this story is like, hey, we raised you right and now you like somehow became a murderer. But interesting how you both gave the stepfather the prominent belt and the tucked in shirt, though. I will say that.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. All stepfathers have that. Okay. So there's that. Now let's
Evan's stepfather famously didn't even wear pants.
That is true. That's for a different show, though. And how is B? What's going on here, Tom?
Consoling her.
That's consoling her.
Consoling B because she is weeping for Jontar.
Wow. She weeps for you constantly. I love this.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Amazing. Love it. I must comfort her now. Wow. So I'm pulling back. They love you very much. And this is Dean Dolchek, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Jontar prompts us here because we're all thinking the same thing. Who's this honky? He's a good man named Dean Dolchek. And yours is just absolutely wins here on this.
Grabbing his face. Oh,
grabbing him by the earlobe, it almost looks like. Don't you ever call him a honky again. Wow. Amazing. Love. Yeah. Wow. This is so wild to be looking at this. Right? In stereo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
All right. Amazing. All right, let's keep it going. Tom, what do you think on the comparison between these two pages here that we just saw, or these couple pages here?
It's crazy. I mean, it's really just seeing the the different ways that we interpreted it.
Mm-hmm.
The Mr. T haircut with the Hitler mustache.
Yeah.
So weird.
Interesting.
What is going on there?
Exactly what it is. It is. It's fair. Yeah, he is drawing this man as an evil man.
Yeah, he really is, which I just didn't see that. I felt it told the story better that he was a nice guy. You can almost see, like maybe Jontar would turn bad because his stepfather was abusive.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But look at this, like the anger in this is like very intense. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like we're good people, Yeah, it's like good rage. Wow. Amazing. All right. Now here we are. Oh wow, this Master Elf Keeper guy. Sorry.
Oh.
That is wild. That's like a Halloween store.
Mm-hmm.
You're a good judge of character, Jontar, but you messed up joining you messed up when you joined art. I was trying to rise above my circumstances like Jive. Well, then Jive's not having any of that. Speaking of circumstance, what's going on in this room? Someone's playing a mind game on us. Exactly. That's weird. Right?
Yeah. Who's saying that?
And then Jive, I'd like you to meet the Master Elf Keeper. Actually, I'm not here. I'm just merging with the program. What program? Asks Jive and Jontar together. That's weird. That's like a narration point.
Yeah.
Weird.
That's interesting.
That's weird. Yeah. Benjamin Powers calls it a psychotest. It's an ultra-sensitive brain scan to make you interact with your subconscious. He's getting it all. He's getting it all on tape. Wow. Like
so bizarre.
Dreamweaver-esque.
Yeah.
Wow. So there's Crosswhite's. Now let's look at yours, Tom. I love how we have like the original source material here. And this you're doing is a full side of the page here. You're a good judge of character, but you messed up when you joined art. Yeah, and I was trying to rise above my circumstances. Speaking of, and then the pull back here for someone's playing a mind game on us. And then exactly, but we don't know who's saying that. Is that? Oh, that must be Master Elfkeeper.
Yeah, that's Master Elfkeeper.
That's
wow.
MEK.
MEK. Amazing. So there's that page from you. And then this is the last page we have, Tom, from your art.
Yeah.
The last thing you ever drew of Jontar.
Boom. Oh, yes.
That is a goddamn Master Elfkeeper if I've ever seen one.
This coiffed hair for sure.
Yes, amazing. I love it. The staff is amazing with the jewel. And then Jive. I love that. And Jiv's like, whoa! Meet the Master Elfkeeper. Wow. That is amazing. So then but like the what program? So I guess maybe you would have drawn that next, so we would have found out.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, that would have. I felt that this page I used it as just a reveal.
Yeah,
for the Master Elfkeeper.
Wow, that is amazing. Wow,
love it.
So yeah, I mean this Master Elfkeeper just does not look.
Yeah, it's like a kid in a Moses costume.
It's like a kid, like a high school play, or like a elementary school play version of. Yeah. All right, well then let's cruise with the rest of the ish here. Unbelievable. So I gotta find where this story is going.
I will feel a little bad if he comes on the show next week.
Don't.
Oh my God, this is your life, Tom. We'll have you with Robert Crosswhite.
Battling it out.
Okay. All right, here we go. Benji must be the geek with Red Vendetta. Oh, Benji must be the geek with Red Vendetta. This is sure going to be good for my reputation. That's weird. Whoa, Jontar face extreme. Say what, Gabe?
I don't get what that means. Benji must be the geek with
the Red Vendetta. So he's like putting it together that.
Oh, the Master
because he's talking about. Yeah, he's talking about how this is a test by Ben.
Uncle Ben, yes.
Uncle Ben. He's like, Benji must be the geek with the Red Vendetta. This is going to be good for my reputation. I don't understand what that means, but that's it. Powers is testing us to see if he can trust us with his secrets, like judging us by what merits we display. That's really.
Hmm.
But this is look at this. Like Tom, you cannot be thrilled with these leg cufflinks here.
Too much cuffed.
Yeah, it's way too much cuff.
Like dress shirt and cuff. Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing here?
It's the one thing I've always wondered about
Mhm.
this whole thing, this whole Jontar thing, is there's a lot of different artists. You have Tony Lorenz, you have you, Tom, you got Robert Crosswhite, you got Dean, whatever his name was, Dean Barrett or Dane Barrett.
Dean Barrett. Dane Barrett.
Do the artists get the other issues, or are they just like the direction to keep this character somewhat consistent, or is it just like he's this and that?
Yeah, I didn't. So I kind of started from scratch. Boy, it looks like he had to have gotten some of my artwork just to keep. I mean, because he could have made Jive, a short Hispanic man.
Mhm.
He
Right.
had-
Yeah, I don't know. It's really this is a wild departure here from where we were with Jontar in the last issue. Like if you would have gotten this, I don't know, like the way
and he
that
got
you,
the loincloth.
Right.
that's
He
true.
almost looks like Dane Barrett, Jontar,
Mm-hmm.
like Elf Island ish
Mhm.
too. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, very very different Jontar here than this page.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right? Like two different characters. Black shirt. Doesn't even get the black shirt right. Anyway, okay.
That wasn't dumb though. It was hard to draw that black shirt with the black background.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
again,
yeah,
totally.
yeah. Maybe it's for the sake of sustainability. Anyway, I'm using. This is the Master Elf Keeper who looks like crazy, like biker. Here. Anyway, I'm using telepathy now to put my own words into my own holographic mouth. Jeez. So what do you have to say?
Yeah.
Jontar says.
What?
That is crazy. The monsters are getting close. You may wish to join these people to help you. Wait. All right, hold on. The monsters are getting close. You may wish to join these people to help you fight. Oh, man. Whoa.
Okay. All right.
Wow. I think I read that right. But whoa.
No, you did. You did.
Whoa. I think they have fights of their own, Jontar says. But you are each responsible for the others. Give to their cause, and they will give to ours. Okay. Cool. What about me? I'm an outsider. You can start by telling me what the feather is. Yeah, can you please tell us what the feather is? Oh, whoa. He actually explains it. LSD in oxygen form. Whoa. Take the breath and you will float like a feather, man, sometimes for days. Whoa.
Weird.
Meant for all ages. This is amazing. Let's just to quickly go back to your issue, Tom, for Jontar Returns 2. I love the feather, and it's all about this feather. And this really tripped me out when I was reading your issue for the first time and just being like, whoa, the feather. This is so trippy.
What is the feather?
The feather. But now we know it's LSD.
I guess.
Bill.
Does that mean the golden camel was like heroin or something from Jontar 2?
Maybe. Who knows?
Oh boy.
Who knows what Bill was dropping when he was writing this? Red Vendetta inhaled a whole box of it. Uh-oh, that can't be good. Then
That's not good.
She may be out forever. How did Art get involved? Don't know the details. Art met with an Arab who worked with his dad in the Middle East. Art's dad is a diplomat. I know that. Who's the Arab? Sheikh Torin Ron Dual. His men developed the feather in his desert laboratory. Okay, whoa, the feather. This is crazy. Amazing. Is any of this ringing a bell? Like is any of this coming back to you at all?
No.
It's lost in the desert
No.
sand.
So I remember the last page about the monsters
Uh-huh.
and stuff like that, but after that, no, all of this I vaguely remember the feather was a drug in air form mixed with air.
This isn't giving you acid flashbacks
Yeah.
from your younger days.
You're not getting Jontar flashbacks? Amazing. The feather could be the most dangerous drug, and Art wants to be its distributor. He'll kill millions for his own wealth. Love this. This is turning into like a drug dealer story. This is the gritty Jontar for sure. But he was going to share the wealth with my gang. No way, Jive. Art shares nothing but misery. I still have my doubts about Powers, but I think for now we should join him. So now they're talking about joining that Justice Underground together.
Hell
Which
yeah,
is cool.
dude.
It's like a faction take on Jontar now. Okay.
Also, the idea that Bill thinks LSD is gonna ruin the world if it's like
an
if
oxygen
everyone takes
form.
acid.
That is wild, man. What a bizarre way to get this group together too, like through this weird "this is your life" like room.
It's just like
so crazy.
And all talking.
All talking.
There's
This
been
is
no action.
Such a slog.
That's true. This is all dialogue. Yeah. Wow. Such a. Who is? See, they say it's made for people of all ages. When I actually think it's made for nobody.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry. We're going here now. So, the light suddenly comes on and the door slides open. And then Ben says, "I've heard most of your conversation, Jontar. Do you know magic?" Amazing. Weird background here, too. No, but I know beings who do. Why? How's Stacy? She's beyond medical help. She's alive, but for how long, I don't know. This needs to be remade as a feature-length movie.
I mean, there needs to be a Dreamweaver Jontar crossover where
this could be
Lance
it.
Valerie goes inside Stacy's head to get her out of her
Oh,
LSD trip.
maybe that's the book we need to kickstart.
Hell yes, dude.
Wow, amazing. If you would trust me, I could take her to get magic healing. Whoa, and then whoa, this drawing is very scary. I am hesitant, but I trust you would not harm your sister. Oh, that's right. There's brother and sister too. And then
And plus, why would he think that? He beat his mother to death.
Touche.
Yeah, you're a murderer. He's like, oh yeah, and then he's talking to you, Tom. He's like, you got that right. Amazing, but I do like the shot here of the three of them in this underground corridor here in the Justice Underground. Wow, absolutely wild. I cannot wait to read more of this series. Actually, to be honest, last page here for the story. I've never seen so much trust between strangers. That's a non sequitur. You got to give it. You got to give it to have it. Got to give it to have it.
Got to give trust to have trust, baby.
Wow. Yeah. As he's looking at a sleeping Robert Plant here. But there we go. And then next is the incredible story of Sophia Sappho.
Next is a cyborg named Kiefer. What the hell?
Yeah,
is going on in that?
I know. Yeah, we got to just take a look at this really quick. Sorry, bonus. Welcome to Azruth Beta 7, a planet where things always come and go. Late. I can't just hear old Schwartz now. I can just hear old Schwartz now. What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Late. We have to work on that Kiefer, but at the moment
that we need to get a hold of Kiefer.
No, we have to work on that Kiefer, is what he's saying.
No, but I mean us. We have to convince Bill to send us all of his Kiefer IP.
Kiefer IP. Oddly enough, my stepdad, who wore no pants, his last name was Kiefer. So worlds are literally aligning here. We have quite a problem. Well, that figures. The only time I hear from these guys is when they need me to pull their fat out of their fire. Okay. Kiefer Robotronics Inc. Wow, this is weird.
Boom, baby.
Oh
my god, we got keeps going. I thought it was just the back splash.
Oh, wow.
Here we go.
No, this is a whole bonus feature here. Wow. This is an abandoned warehouse has been converted into a cathedral. Hear me, my brothers and sisters. Is this a Bill Miller thing, or is this just a Robert Crosswhite thing? I think it's a Robert Crosswhite thing.
Yeah, it's definitely Crosswhite art.
Yeah. No, it is, but I think it's just all him. For too long, the organics have kept us in a state of bondage. We are not the simple mechanics of yesteryear. We are fully functioning, thinking entities deserving of our own right to enjoy what we call life. And after long thought about the problem, I, as your spiritual leader, have determined a course of action for our cause. Death to all organics. Wow.
Dude, look at that. Look at his hand. He's got a satellite hand. This is such like a Wonders of the Future from like 1902 sort of
It
aesthetic.
is, yeah.
Like they have like
Wow.
medieval helmets, but they're all robots, and they're named after like a dairy drink.
Wow.
Kiefer, man, what is going on?
Welcome back, Kiefer. I've designed some new goodies to retrofit with your. Get in here and we'll get sorted. Yeah, this is crazy. After this is Kiefer. Yeah, they're making a Kiefer. I don't know.
I don't
Meanwhile,
know. I mean,
his name is Lord Elroy, discusses his
There you
battle
go.
plans with his faithful aide, Danbot. Wow, this is
Really?
that's what it says. Wow,
Damn,
looks like they're
dude,
the magic is at Miller. Kiefer, Robotronics Inc., featured in Jontar Returns, and Slayhawk. Slayhawk is actually
yeah.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's also Robert Crosswhite. Yeah, so yeah,
dude.
Crosswhite was pretty prolific with good old Bill there, and
I wonder if he made a deal with Bill saying, okay, I'll do Jontar, but you got to let me put a couple of pages of Kiefer at the back of it.
Yeah. Seeing as how you're not paying me, let me put my comic in the back here.
bartering with the Kiefer system. Yeah,
Ish,
yeah. But
Kiefer stipulation.
the one thing I do like is that it does give a synopsis of actually the first
Oh, wow.
6 issues of
Whoa.
Jontar Returns, and there is no 6th issue, which is amazing because the synopsis for 6 is, well, for 4, the next one, we actually returning to Temple Island, probably gonna save Red Vendetta, and then for 5, Jontar is a showdown with Art, so everything leads to that. That's can't wait for that. And then number 6 is called Freezing Hell Part 1. The Evil Santos Claus, oh boy, plots revenge on the elves, but he may have competition with a villainous Snow Slaggle. Wow.
Uh-oh.
So Christmas-ish
My
is what we
God.
missed. But yeah, I don't even know what this is.
Oh, love that back cover.
Yeah.
Just totally doesn't have anything to do with anything.
It doesn't.
The only thing I can think is that in the first issue, he trained with Sophia
Yep.
Sappho.
That's true.
Mhm.
That could be her. That's
That's
her.
Kind of
probably
looks like
it.
the ripped pants, and he's on the island.
No, you're right.
Right.
That's exactly what it is. Wow, that's cool actually. Yeah. So, Tom, you got to give us the final wrap up here. What's it like? What are your thoughts on Jontar Returns 3 from Mr. Robert Crosswhite? Don't hold back.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I would never.
Yeah. Leave the slandering to us if you want.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
I
his
got a lot to
artwork
say.
his artwork was not terrible. Some of the choices he made were interesting, but that could have been. I mean, it was a lot of storytelling, not a lot of story advancing.
Right.
And it was interesting to see, some of the choices that he made that I didn't, and the ones that we took together too.
Yeah.
There was a couple of pages where it's just, I don't know if there just wasn't anything else you could do with the ideas we were given, or if we were just on the same page. But
Fascinating though. It is.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Very interesting to all these years later, what, 30 some years later now, we're kind of looking back at this just very, very niche thing. We found you have the original art that, has never been seen. And now we're able to compare it against this very obscure comic that only probably us on this call know. But hey, that's what's great about the world of Power Comics.
Yeah. Look, I will say, not to make any excuses.
Here's the slander.
For you, Tom, but I could see myself abandoning this ish halfway through. I mean, this is like the most. I wouldn't want to draw this. This is the most boring comic I've ever read. This is like, what are we doing here?
It's a weird intermediary story to. Jontar.
It's such a just slogging through oatmeal in this ish here. Like you can't. It's bored out of my mind. I'm sorry.
But
this is the low.
Yeah.
You're the blow for the Jontar.
Yeah, you're definitely the harsh critic. You're the Rex Reed of Power Comics, but I mean, it looks like on the horizon, we're gonna get some action. I mean, this cover is absolutely
stellar.
Yes.
Stellar.
Unreal. I want
unreal. Yeah. So, as much as we are slandering the name of Robert Crosswhite, it definitely looks like it's about to pick up, and maybe
I'm not even slandering Crosswhite. I think that Miller is to blame for the issue. And if you look at number
I know
3, it just doesn't even really feel like it's in the same
universe. Well, it's a different artist.
Universe.
It's a different.
Right.
It's another artist.
You could see how in 4 and 5 Crosswhite's doing the cover, and he's got like his little roll there. They're very dynamic. That would if I was in the comic shop and I saw either of those, I'd be pulled right in.
Of course,
those are great.
Totally. And like I said, Crosswhite, he did Slayhawk, which is up on our Patreon.
Hell yeah!
Absolutely, absolutely amazing. So let's see here. I'm gonna throw up the Patreon graphic here. So if you're not a part of the Patreon, patreon.com/powercomics, check out Robert Crosswhite's Slayhawk up there, and we have a couple other things of just showcasing his work. Because even though I think I definitely prefer for me the look and feel of your work, Tom, for this series, I think that it suits it a lot more. But there are elements of Crosswhite's work that are really good. And
look, all the Jontar children are special in their own way. you can't have a favorite. They all contributed something very worthy to the run here.
It's true. And one other thing about Crosswhite that's interesting is that he blogged about Jontar making this series. I think a very brief blog. Talking about meeting Bill and meeting, kind of in a similar fashion. It's like if you Google Jontar Robert Crosswhite on Google, you'll probably come up with it. And what we tried to reach out to him through that, but we never heard back. But he kind of detailed that story of meeting him and drawing this, and then he, I think, kind of went back and redrew like a cover or something. Just for fun, which you can see up on there if you Google that. I can throw that link in the description of this video. But pretty wild stuff though to go back and to see this. And again, thanks Tom for making that power donation to the Power Archives with your original art, which it
was my pleasure.
Yeah.
I was glad to have it in good hands.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. And we're going to take good care of it here. And and who knows, man, we have started a partnership with Floating World Comics. More information is going to start trickling out about that. And who knows, like someday we might be looking at, trying to publish the complete Jontar, and the complete Jontar is not complete until it incorporates literally everything. So who knows? Maybe there's another. Maybe if Robert Crosswhite is out there, what does Robert Crosswhite have in the garage? Is there issue number 6? What is there?
All I can think about.
I know.
Guarantee he drew.
Well, because I assumed it was like a 5-issue series, but from what you read in the back, it looks like the first 4 issues finish this story, and then the next one, issue 5, starts a whole new story.
Yeah. So who knows, man? There could be more out there. Who knows what Bill's got? I'm sure Bill's got all these stories written. I'm sure he's got his, his trilogy, his feature-length trilogy of Jontar written.
Oh yeah.
So amazing. Well, thank you so much, Tom, and thank you to your brother, John Tarpey, also for being named John Tarpey.
We will appreciate that.
Awesome, and that's great. Well, thank you so much, Tom, for joining us, and it was definitely a pleasure, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So
thanks, Tom.
Thank you guys again. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Anytime, buddy.
Yep. All right. See you later. Bye-bye.